Hey guys, welcome to 30 Minutes of Row. We're going to work in 5-minute rounds today. We've done it before. Each round will be a little bit different, but always pushing you, challenging, sometimes working off the previous round. You'll see as we go. We'll just do 4 rounds of it, which is not a full 30 minutes, but with the floor and rest, obviously, it's going to get there. So let's go ahead and warm up, and I'll tell you what we're doing as we get there.
All right, guys, strap in. Go ahead and let's
strap in.
Hit that center button and get ready.
Center button. Let's go.
Here we go. Getting nice and warm.
You've got 3 minutes here to get warm.
For me, I'm
to
outside,
mess around with your stroke, the count, isolate certain aspect of the stroke, whatever you feel like doing,
quick.
And then we will get into our 5-minute drills.
I really need that physical activity just for my body to get to be, a warm temperature, but not today. All right, guys, so keeping it easy, find your stroke rate that feels good, find your pressure that feels good, and then stick with that for these 3 minutes, kind of playing around with your form, not playing around with it in the way that would mean that form is negotiable or flexible. It's not. There's a set form and you know it. But play around with, maybe chopping it up at first, maybe taking a few strokes, legs only, like we've done before in our 45-minute rows, things like that. Just kind of play around with it. Sometimes I even will say to do a wrong few strokes, incorrect form, leading with the shoulders, bending the knees too early, so you can really feel what that feels like. Just to be reminded, since you're so used to correct form, sometimes it's nice to be reminded of incorrect form so you can recognize it when it creeps up on you and it surprises you when you least expect it. So just, that's what I mean by play around. Be flexible. It's the warm-up. It's the time for you to just start settling into everything in whatever way feels good to you. So go ahead and stick with that for about another minute, and then we will start the workout. Alright guys, hopefully you're feeling nice and warm by now. We've got our last couple strokes here. We'll take a stretch. Go ahead, put that handle down. Take a stretch, whatever feels good. Forward fold, twist, all of the above, and then set your rower to 5 minutes. We're going to go right into our first 5-minute drill, and this is going to be just a steady row. I want you to kind of try to find within the first few seconds, first 30 seconds or so, a split time that you feel like you can maintain, and then I want you to work on just staying there. So hit that center button, and let's pick it up and go right here. So don't go crazy. It's not a 5-minute sprint, because of course you wouldn't really be able to do a full out sprint for 5 minutes. You could do some version of a sprint where you at some point kind of had to fade back a little bit. So I want you to, instead of pushing hard and fading out, I want you to push at kind of a medium effort level, something that you feel like can happen and can last for 5 minutes. Really taking your focus to the efficiency of your stroke and to making sure that you've got that drive back. You're moving your boat as you push, pull, repeat. Push, pull, repeat. Making it smooth, driving to straight legs as you push to the back. Big open, slower close, So you're well into this now. You should definitely be holding steady where you are. Great job. Under your breath, remember that exhale at the back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. So you're more than a minute into this, almost a minute and a half, and this is where I often will realize I've gone out too hard. If that's the case, it hits me kind of between 1 and 2 minutes. So if you're starting to realize that, then adjust as you need to now. Make the correction so that you can spend as much time as possible of these 5 minutes working on maintenance, working on holding steady at a certain split time and stroke rate. Good. Drive back, straight legs, power, efficiency. That's what we're going for in this stroke. It's not about panic. A lot of times, I don't know if that word panic doesn't mean anything to you. I mean, obviously it means something to you, but to me, panic is what happens when it's a sprint. My brain starts to get frantic. I feel like my body gets frantic, and I really have to concentrate to not just go kind of crazy, and crazy in an inefficient way. I'm not super fast when that happens. I'm not super fast, period. But this should not have any of that feeling. This should be very much about, if you could picture yourself out on the lake and you're just going for that steady state workout. You're going for, kind of equivalent to a jog. It's exercise, you're working, you're doing something outside of what you would normally do just at rest or at a very leisurely pace, but you don't have that crazy, frantic feeling of a sprint. Great job, guys. Really nice, really strong. Remember, rowing is about your power, it's about your strength, and it's about being able to maintain that. So it's a combination of strength and endurance. It really is kind of an all-around perfect sport. If I do, I'm a little biased, I think, but I do believe that. Really good job. Keep it going, strong straight legs, focus on that push to the straight leg. This is your first 5-minute round, so you're probably not really having to do a lot of self-talk. You're not having to dig deep to make it happen. But, you know what to tell yourself, and you know what to do, how that form should feel and how it works. Great job, guys. Last minute here in a couple seconds, right about here. Don't change anything, just keep on doing what you've been doing. Think about your core for a few seconds. Think about how it feels. It should not feel loose. Belly button pulled in tight. Really solid core muscles. The back muscles, which are part of the core, the low back, are really working through every single stroke, and it is key to have those abdominal muscles supporting that. Also, the abdominal muscles are working in every stroke. Many, many times I hear people who are new to rowing say that their abs hurt because of having to sit back up every single time, like that. And then back, your abs contract, engage, they're holding you, and then you have to sit back up. That's working those abs. You guys are almost there. And handle down. Great job. Take a stretch, guys. We'll do a little bit of core and we'll go into our next round. Get your breath, get some water. Stretch what needs to be stretched. Good. Figure 4 if that feels good to you. Other side. And then go ahead and strap back in. We'll do our core work here. Push back, straight legs, belly button tight, hands behind your head, belly button in, chest lifted. We're going to go right here into the hold, breathe, and then take it down and back to that position. Exhale up, down, up, down, up. Like a little crunch. Hold, stay there. And go again, down and up, down and up. Exhale, lift, inhale back. Hold, pull the belly button in tight, press the chest forward a little bit more. And stretch it out. Great job. Alright guys, so for our next 5 minutes, you guys are going to have the goal of improving each minute, dropping your split time by at least 1 second each minute. So what I'd like you to do is kind of look back at the last 5-minute drill we did, decide if that's a good split time for you to start at, or maybe that's a little too low for you to start there, and you need to give yourself a little padding and add a couple seconds to it as a starting point. Hit your center button, pick up the handle, let's go. So if you were doing a 210 in the last 5-minute drill and you stayed at 210, decide right now, is 210 where I can start and then get better and better, faster and faster over the next 4 minutes, or is 210 kind of close to where I need to end up and I should start at maybe 212 or 213. So give yourself that room if you need to, and get in your head right now, what's your method going to be for improving each round? How are you going to drop that split time? How much are you going to drop it by? So you're going for consistency as far as that stroke form goes. As far as what it looks like to someone from the outside looking in. There's nothing really clearly, obviously happening from minute to minute that's making that split time drop. You're probably just adjusting how hard you're pushing to the back. And someone who's not a rower, someone who doesn't know what it takes to row, might not even recognize that as a way to move your boat faster. So think about that as you move from minute to minute and make the changes that you need to make. Remember that a powerful stroke is a big stroke. It's not a short, choppy stroke. So think about really opening up toward the back, making that your power drive, that opening up. Slow to recover coming in. All right, getting ready to transition here into your 3rd minute. Get the plan, know what you want to do, know how you want to make that change happen, and then do it. Use the power, much like a Jedi, except your power's in your legs. Great. So it's consistency in a different format kind of than what we were doing before. Consistency before meant that everything was staying the same. Consistency here means I want your approach to be consistent. I want the way that you go about dropping your split time and your stroke and all of that to be consistent. You're doing an amazing job. Keep it up. Keep pushing through it. You're going to come up on minute 4 here. Yeah, that's cool. He ain't like me. Slide on the tape, Jane, going to the gram. Lot of gang, lot of teams, and I can change. Why you claim that you rich, that's a false claim. I'll be straight to the biz, no way. Whole lot of staff change. Exhale, squeeze the shoulders back, bring the elbows past your body. That is so important, and just be aware of it as you go through each 5-minute round, because as you get toward the end of each round, that's where you're going to start to have little faults in your form. So be aware of that, consciously make that effort to squeeze the elbows back behind you to make sure that you're not just pulling the wrist toward your chest, not just working that forearm by hinging at the elbow. You're coming up on the last minute. One more change, one more drop. I want you to notice what the split time is as you come into this last minute. We're going to use that later. Good. So you've made your change. And you are moving through this last minute. Come on. Stay with it. Don't quit. Try not to let up. Great job. Stay with that split time all the way to the end. Come on, just over 30 seconds. You can do that. Yes, push through. Don't let up. Be aware of what's happening with your form too. Great job, you're almost there. Push to the end, don't coast across the finish line. Look at your split time, know what it is, we're going to use it later. Almost there, and handle down, great job. Alright, go ahead and unstrap so you can take some stretches here before we do core, and then go back to the 5 minutes. Take a figure 4, and then other side. Grab some water if you want it. It's always good just to get a sip, even if you don't feel like you're thirsty. Your body's using that water. It needs that water, especially if you started sweating. Alright guys, core is without strapping in. So go ahead, slide back, scoot your booty down on the seat, put your hands on the floor. You're going to rock onto your left hip, extend the legs out, and tuck them back in. Extend and tuck. Exhale, pull in. Good, and we will hold right here for 8, 4, 3, 2, other side, extend, and tuck, and reach, tuck, and reach. Yes. Hold it, breathe, belly button in tight, squeeze, 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 and come down. Go ahead, come back up, guys. Ready for 5 minutes again. 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. You're going to start right away in your sprint. I want you to, again, think about being powerful, not frantic, okay? Powerful, not panicky. So go ahead and hit your center button. Take a deep breath. Going right into it with that racer's start. All right. Pick up the handle and let's go. Right into it. Lowest split you've seen so far today. Using the power in your legs. Remembering to keep the stroke nice and big. Don't want it to be choppy. All the way, 30 seconds, and then take it easy. Don't stop rowing, just let up right here. So easy, breathe. Don't worry about what that split time looks like. It's definitely going up. Let your heart rate drop. This first round's pretty easy. Getting ready to go again though. Alright, get ready and let's go. Drive. Straighten those legs. Remember not to lock them out, but you really do want to straighten them quickly. So just don't let them slam into the joints. Yes, drive, lean, pull. Make it smooth and big. Keep it powerful. And ease up. Breathe. Let the heart rate drop. About ready to go again. And let's do it right here. Push back down. Get that split time back down to where it was when you did the first sprint or the second sprint of this round. When it was your best round so far, find that again. Make this your best round so far. Last couple strokes, less than 5 seconds, and then you get your next break. Right here. Breathe, slow down, nice and easy. Take a couple deep breaths. 30 seconds is enough time for your heart rate to come down and for you to get some kind of renewed energy to go again, but it is still not a terribly long period of time. It feels much longer when you're sprinting than it does when you're in recovery. But speaking of which, this recovery is almost done and it's about time for you to hit the sprint again. Get ready and go right here. This is number 4 of 5. Got it. Push through it. Right. Use those legs. And ease up. All right, guys, we've got one more time. One more to go. Keep it light during this time. I don't want to call it time off. It's not time off. It's active recovery, right? Get ready to go again. Let's do it right here. You're off. Come on. Let's go. Let's be on it. Let's win. I don't know what we're winning. We're not competing against anyone but ourselves. So we're all winners, which is awesome. Got it. Come on, push to the end. This is it. This is your last drive. All the way and ease up. Great job, guys. Let the heart rate come down. We're going to keep this going at the light, easy pace all the way to the end of the 5 minutes. Good, almost done. And put that handle down, take a nice stretch. Great job. Little hamstring stretch. Other side. Good. All right, let's go ahead and take a twist, and then we're going to strap back in for some more core. Go ahead and do that now. Strap back in. Slide back, legs straight, hands at your head. We're going to twist to the right. Take the right elbow down and up. Down and up. Belly button in tight, working those obliques. Keep the legs strong. Down, up, up. Exhale as you come up. You got it. Back to center, other side, same thing. Drop and lift. Drop and lift. This side is so much harder for me. It just feels so weird. I had trouble getting into that twisted position. Everything about it was just wrong. And center. Good. Go ahead and take your stretch. We've got one more 5-minute round to do, and here's what I want you to do. I want you to think back to that last split time that you had 2 rounds ago, where you improved every minute. I want you to start out with that last split time. So if it was 2 minutes or 2:02 or whatever it was, start out with that. I want you to do whatever it takes to stay at that as long as possible, within reason. Not losing form, but taking your stroke rate up if you need to, using more power if you need to, whatever it takes for you to make that happen. No cap on your strokes. Just try to keep that split as long as possible, and then once you can't, try to let it come up just as slowly as possible. So you don't want to just, once you're done holding that split, just completely crash and be done. I want you to ease up out of it. Hit the center button. Pick up the handle. Let's go. Ideally, here's my ideal. You're starting at the last split time you had 2 rounds ago. Ideally, if you cannot hold that for all 5 minutes, which you probably can't, by the end of these 5 minutes, I do not want you at a higher split than you started with 2 rounds ago. Does that make sense? So remember I said if you're starting at 210, then you might go down, 1 second or 2 seconds each round. So think back to what was that highest highest split time I had. Okay, I'm not going to allow myself to go higher than that. But right now you're working on keeping that lowest split time for as long as you possibly can. Great job. Not an easy task. You've got this. Always trying to maintain that form regardless of your stroke rate. If your form starts to go out the window, your stroke rate is probably too high. Double check all of those aspects of form. Make sure your hands are not death gripped on the handle. Make sure your elbows are pulling back past the center line of your body. Shoulder blades rolling together like you're trying to kiss. Chest is lifted, driving the hips out first to straight legs, then leaning back, making sure the knees don't bend before you sit forward. Make the legs wait as you come back in on that recovery. Seat should slide in last. If your stroke feels choppy, if you feel like you're putting too much focus on it, on the form, and it's making you chop it up a lot, then relax about it. Let that stroke ease back into a very fluid motion. Good. Yes, such a big stroke. That's what moves your boat. Keep going. You've got it, guys. You're almost there. All right, guys, you're coming up on 2 minutes to go, right here. I hope that you're still able to hold that split, but there's a really good chance you aren't. You're not able to stay there because you were pushing so hard 2 rounds ago, and you got that split lower than you could hang on to for, 5 minutes or even 1 minute, 2 minutes. So drive through. Do what you need to do. If your split time starts to creep up, it's okay. I would like you to not actively decide, okay, I'm just going to give up now. I would like you to allow that split time to rise, maybe even be aware of what's causing it to rise. Oh, I can feel like I'm not pushing as hard through my legs. Maybe I'm not taking as big a stroke as I was before. Whatever it is, be aware of that. Let that be part of your information that you use going forward. Just about a minute left. You can do this. You can stay with it. Yes. Building athletes here. This is not just jazzercise, not that there's anything wrong with that. This is a sport. Almost there, guys. You're so close. Come on, stay with it. Did you lose that split time? If so, can you get back to it? Can you push yourself down? Use those legs to drop that split time even more. Come on. And done. Great job. Take a stretch. Ooh, take a deep breath. Great. Let that heart rate start to come down. And then pick up the handle. And let's find our way back to our cool down. Nice, easy paddle pressure stroke. 23, 22 strokes per minute, something in that range. Just allowing the heart rate to come down. Is key to so much. That recovery time, not in our stroke, but the time it takes your body to recover after a workout is a great indicator of fitness. The faster you recover, the more fit you tend to be. So use that as knowledge. Alright guys, about 30 seconds left here. Cooling down. Reminding your brain that, or I guess we haven't even told it yet, but letting your brain know, hey, this is it. This is the end. We're done. You can relax. All right. Let's go ahead and put that handle back. Take a nice forward fold here. Undo those foot stretchers. Take the feet out. Cross one foot over the opposite thigh. Lean forward. Press your chest in toward the calf. Feel that good pull. I like to push my top knee down at the same time. Feels good to me. And then other side, same thing. All right, let's take a twist. So uncross those legs. Side, and then go ahead and grab onto the footboard, top deck, straddle the track, send your hips back, really think about lengthening through the spine, and then bring one knee into the center of the seat, slide it back, back, grab the foot, quad stretch. And then other side. Reach back and grab your foot for the quad stretch. Good. Go ahead and have a seat, guys. Grab onto that top dag footboard, round your back, get those shoulder blades pulled apart. And then sit up, bring your hands around behind you, clasp together, press down, lift away, open the chest, unround the shoulders. Great job, guys. See you next time.